All right, go for it.
Hello, everyone. This is the Guerrilla Economist. I am with my man Gustavo. Gustavo Demos. You can find him on perpetualassets.com. You can go there if you have a 401k. You are very much afraid of becoming a 101k. You can go there, and he will show you how you can invest in your own future, whether you're buying stocks, bonds, gold, cryptos, goats, camels, whatever you need. Gustavo will take care of it for you. Him and his crazy infidel friend, who is married. His name is Villiers. He's a supreme infidel. He will also help you as well. You can contact them at perpetualassets.com. Gus is known for being a colorful cultural commentator, so he's here and he's going to start commentating. So we will let loose this infidel and see what he says. Hello, Gus. Welcome to the Ahmed Show. I am Ahmed.
Dude, colorful cultural commentator is pretty fucking and just on the fucking like tip of your tongue. You don't even know, fucking brilliant, dude. Brilliant. I forgot to, dude. I forgot to tell you guys before we went live too. So I also went. I went to 2 days ago to like the biggest downtown Starbucks in San Diego.
And did you find blood? Did you find blood splatter on the walls? Did a homeless person jump from behind the toilet and try to stab you with a hypodermic needle?
Dude, it's funny you said that. There were literally 11 homeless people hanging out there. Oh, so Jesus Christ, it turns out the new quote unquote loitering is welcome policy. There had to be a dozen or so homeless people just hanging out. Oh one of the bathrooms was shut down. There was a lady in there with a mop bucket outside.
So I can imagine what happened.
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, and the place, like the usual people you usually saw in that location, because I've been going to it for a long time. You usually saw it was a lot of like hipsters and fucking weirdos with blue hair and all that bullshit, but like it was probably half homeless, and people were even like the libs in line were kind of like like a little like you're watching like a heroin addict put deodorant on and shit. So, yeah.
What's wrong with that? Gus, we have to make society fair for everybody, equal opportunities, equal outcomes. What's wrong with that? Don't you like that? It's cultural enrichment. All the thing that's missing is a suicide bomber.
Dude, stop being a bigot, dude. You have to if you don't like watching homeless people shower while you're ordering a latte,
what's even better is when you're sitting outside with what's even better is when you're sitting outside with your latte on the porch, and off to the side in the bushes, a homeless guy taking a dump right in front of you, and that fragrance begins to waft right into your nose. It smells so bad you could taste it. That's even better.
Dude,
I've had that happen to me in New York.
I have a crazy truth for the liberals. And it's that from ages, I don't know, 14, when you start hanging out with your teenage buddies at stores, being an asshole or causing ruckus or being a limit, from ages 14 to 40, I have personally been rejected from using the bathroom hundreds of times. Like it's not Starbucks. It was never a conspiracy about fucking Nazis and Hitler and not allowing black people to piss. It was about loitering. It always had in my family, dude, my family was we grew up in the restaurant business. If you're not buying shit, get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Taking up space. You know what I hate, man? You know what I hate? I hate when these freaking know-nothing, useless millennials, when I'm coming into Starbucks and I'm with the family, we've ordered, we spend a fortune in Starbucks every year. And when I'm coming in with the family and I'm buying coffees and snacks and all this other stuff, and I turn around to go sit down at the table, it's all filled with these broke-ass millennials with their stupid laptops with like a cup of water. Not even like a latte, nothing. They're just sitting there sucking up Wi-Fi like a bunch of idiots. Dude, can't stand it.
Even if I'm on a fucking like road trip and my bladder is about to explode on the highway.
Yeah.
And you get off that lone gas station in that small town or whatever. You buy a fucking water before asking for the key. Like I probably learned that 23 years old or 20, like in your early 20s, you're like, oh, these people, fair enough. It's their business, their property. I might have to buy something to piss, and that's okay. Like,
that's totally cool.
Well, it's just it's incredible the way they try to make it a conspiracy. Like, I mean,
they're trying to stop black people from paying. They're trying to stop them from utilizing the rest facilities and the water closets.
And they think it's like if some they try to find anecdotal evidence, like little anomalies, like some 22-year-old white girl will come out and be like, Starbucks lets me pee all the time without buying anything. Like, yeah, that's anecdotal. So, and you're a little piece of ass, so that you con the cashier beta mail for the code or whatever. It's like,
exactly.
Dude, I've been rejected hundreds of times, especially in my teen years when I was younger, and like we had a couple, like we'd have like the local McDonald's before Starbucks even existed. We had like the local McDonald's we'd try hanging out at, and the McDonald's people would be like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, they'd always boot us for just trying to hang out or not buying anything. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, it happens to the best of us, even me.
Are you there?
I'm here. Did V drop off?
I think V dropped off. Yeah, I could hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, it must have been. He'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, so I'm not sure what he was getting to say about him going into a Starbucks and probably being asked to leave. I mean, what would you expect from seeing a 6'2" gorilla coming in the door, right?
Well, I don't know. Call me crazy. I mean, I stopped going into places to just quote unquote hang out.
I accidentally ejected myself. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Go ahead, man. CJ, I stopped going into places to quote unquote hang out when I was like 17. Like, it's like I thought it was just something people did from ages like 13 to 18. You're like the movie The Outsiders, were just hanging out, loitering, causing trouble. Like, it's like we were just young punks, and yeah, businesses would tell us to leave all the time. And I'm not a fucking Somalian immigrant. I'm a fucking Greek white kid, and they're in the burbs, and they're like, get the fuck out. So yeah, it's not a conspiracy. Fucking businesses don't like people not buying shit. Buy something
because they don't like the cultural enrichment, Gus. They don't like the cultural enrichment. That's the problem here.
Yeah, I guess it's hard for the liberals to grasp. And by the way, every time I've been kicked out of a place, as when I was younger, for not buying anything, I wouldn't call CNN about it. I'm like, oh, they just wanted me to buy something. But I guess they have a hard time.
What about if you don't leave and then they call the cops, and the cops come out and they ask you 6 or 7 times to leave the premises and you still refuse to leave, and then they got to arrest you, and then what happens?
That's why I'm curious if like the whole thing was a hoax. Like, it's like, dude, really? Like, I get asked.
And then on cue, the white handler comes in. You're arresting them because they're black.
Dude, I've told you stories about confrontations with liberals since the election at a bar or whatever, where they'll eavesdrop and smell. And every time conflict breaks out in those things, in those conversations where I don't even approach, like, they'll ask me to leave as the man. They're like, you're like, all right, this is getting heated, sir, please just go. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, so it's like there is no conspiracy. People just don't like fucking people hanging out, scratching their balls and causing trouble and bullshit like this.
What about shooting a hot load into their veins in a bathroom, in a public bathroom? How about like the pictures that we've seen of babies' changing tables put down so the guy could spread his paraphernalia all across a baby's changing table so he could shoot a hot load into his vein and then pass out on the floor for 3-4 hours while your wife and your kid is knocking on the door because they got to use the restroom because it's potty time, and your little kid can't use the potty because Juniper's in there passed out. What happens, man?
Well, bro, they've
or what's the millennial name these days? Graydon, Baden, Jaden. That stupid millennial name. Graydon, Braden, Jaden, Maiden, Caden, Raiden, Payden. It passed out on the floor, man. Passed out on the floor. Just in a coma. He loves that heroin.
They've run out. They've run out of shit to bitch about. That's what all this comes down to. Like, they they've like they're so desperate to keep this divide and conquer. There's a conspiracy, split them up and get the votes. They're so desperate to continue that narrative that they'll literally do anything. But I've told, I haven't seen the new Solo movie. I boycotted Star Wars moving forward after that.
I heard it's flopping bad.
It is. And and one of the things they tried doing, this Kennedy feminist cunt tried doing, even before the movie came out, like a week or two before it came out, they tried saying that Lando Calrissian, the coolest black dude in the fucking universe, like the ultimate, like smooth fucking ladies man, cool fucking dude.
Yeah.
They tried to say he's pansexual.
He's pansexual?
Well, yes.
Aliens, he'll sleep with bugs, he'll
fuck a toaster. Like,
that's the right guy to play him. Daniel Glover, aka Childish Gambino.
Well, dude, what I knew they would do is the liberals and the feminists couldn't allow even the black dudes or the Hispanic dudes or the fucking Arab dude. They can't allow you to be alpha.
No.
At the end of the fucking day, and this is what I was telling you, even when like the Kanye shit broke. At the end of the day, they're going to alienate anyone with high testosterone levels. They're going to say,
it's funny you should say that, because when you look at human civilization and human history, right before a civilization collapses, there's a proliferation of effeminate men and out of control crazy women. It's always a sign of collapse. Well, you see it in the Look at Europe, dude. Europe is done. They're getting raped on a daily basis, and then the women are saying, "No, we want more rape."
Well, like I told you, dude, we are going to start getting any man who is more comfortable in a patriarchal environment. Any man who is more comfortable saying, and it doesn't matter of religion or race or whatever, they could only put up with it for so long before they're like, wait a minute, I actually am a good person. I work hard. I love my dad. They can't. The self-loathing that feminists want men to have, the guy, eventually biology is going to kick in, and he's going to be like, fuck this bitch. I'm not a pan. It's going to happen. There's no fucking way. They can't coexist. They just can't. The feminists are too fucking toxic. They're too bitter. They're too know the pecking order. I'm a woman. And that's why the Lando thing doesn't shock me. The other angle about the Lando thing that kind of fucking really fucked it up for me was like, dude, Star Wars is a franchise built on children and nostalgia and of our youth, and let's bring our kids, and the kids will buy the merchandise. Why are they interjecting this guy who'll apparently fuck a toaster? Why is that something you're selling to kids? Lando's pansexual. Like, why the fuck should why should my 6-year-old fucking son care that Lando will fuck a dishwasher? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I didn't even know what I had to Google pansexual. I didn't know what the fuck it meant. They've confused. He does
pans. He's sexually he's sexually attracted to cookingware.
Yeah, the droid.
Is that a cordingware pot that I see that you're holding, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, dude, he'll bang Chewbacca, Chewie, like fucking drops.
Chewie's not careful. Lando will sneak up behind you.
Yeah, why are you like? There's
you know what I'm sick of, man. What I'm sick of with the last Star Wars and is the fact that all of a sudden out of nowhere, like here's Han Solo. And here's Chewbacca. They're trying to fix the Millennium Falcon and get the hell out, and all of a sudden, the female character Rey just automatically knew what was wrong with the ship and was able to fix it. She's like a genius in everything. That
Mary Sue. Yeah.
Bullshit are we selling these people?
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy, dude? This type of propaganda that they're selling to women is so dangerous. It's going to get them physically killed.
I didn't even know. There's a lot I've learned, a lot of phrases and terms I hadn't known. And but the Star Wars review, I just, because everyone calls her a Mary Sue, and I'd never heard that term before until the
Mary Sue.
Yeah, a Mary Sue is apparently a fictional archetype of when they put a woman in a role, and she's just naturally, with no training and no effort, she's just naturally amazing at everything.
So stupid.
Well, look, like you said with Rey, like here's this like homeless desert girl, and suddenly she has a mastery of the Force. She's better than Luke. She's the best pilot in the galaxy. Like the fact she has ovaries and a vagina, and with no training, no struggle, no clawing, like none of that. She's just naturally amazing because she has ovaries. That's a Mary Sue. A Mary Sue is when she's perfect because she's a woman, just naturally.
She utilizes the power of the vajayjay and is able to transcend the Force itself.
Yes, and that is what, again, the Star Wars. Dude, Star Wars broke my heart. It broke my fucking heart because it was, not only did they kill the nostalgia, not only did they, promote just toxic fucking feminism. Not only did they neutered every guy in the movie. Every guy was either evil, insane, a pussy. Like,
I'm done. I can't do it anymore. What the fuck is going on? I'm done. I can't do it, dude. On YouTube, this is a great guy. I don't agree with everything he says, but there's a great deal that I do agree with, and his social commentary, especially in the historical sense, is absolutely spot on. And I don't know if you ever watch him, but it's Black Pigeon Speaks, BPS.
I'd have to Google that.
Google him. Look at his. Watch the video, and I'll even send you the link. I'll tell you right now, man. It's quite remarkable. And give me 1 second. Let me see here. Black Pigeon. He's a white guy living in Japan. Why women destroy civilization. It's inarguable. It's inarguable, and it sounds sexist to say it. It sounds like because. But look, man, we can't. I'm gonna send you the link right now.
I'm on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you right now. To Gustavo and El Cuco, I sent to you right now, boys. There you go. You guys have it. But the point is, that he makes is men have a type of loyalty to our tribe, to those that belong to a like mindset. There's a loyalty there, right? Instinctively speaking, genetically speaking, that does not apply for women. Case in point, when the Nazis took over France, what did the French women do, bro? What do they do? What did the majority of the French women do?
Start banging Nazis.
Bingo. When Americans took over Japan, what did the majority of the Japanese women do?
Start banging Americans.
Bingo. Why? Because it guarantees the greatest genetic driver a woman has, but these libtards are breeding out of them or lying to them about, is the greatest genetic driver they have is the desire to reproduce. Yeah,
that argument has been made by like professors of evolutionary biology.
Absolutely.
Joe Peterson makes him. It's throughout human history. It doesn't matter if it's the Alexander the Great, the fucking Mongols, the Egypt. They come in. The driving force comes in, invades, whatever term you want to use. They defeat the locals. They kill the men or enslave them, and they take the women. They take the women for pussy. So the warriors get killed off, the tribe leaders get killed off, and the women are used for either sex toys or reproduction. And the women are cool with it because of your point. Ultimately, the woman's main thing that goes on in her head, number one, is survival. Number two is reproduction.
Yeah, and to drive it home, here's a fact: 80% of all women that have ever lived have reproduced. 80% of all women that have ever lived have reproduced. Only less than 40%. I think the number is like 36 to 39% at the most, but about 36 to 39% of men that have ever lived have reproduced. That's an alarming, shocking number. That's like less than half of the men,
Well, it's because the whole not only war but sinking ship. We are the first. And this is the one thing the feminists, because I always make fun of them, because like the feminists don't argue they want to be men. They want to pick and choose which ones of our traits and benefits they want to grab. They don't want to be they don't want to collect garbage. They don't want to be plumbers. They don't want to die in war. They don't want to go down.
They don't want to pull out a 50-pound sewer rat from a stuck drain pipe in Manhattan.
Yeah, they like I said, man, there are as they said, like there are no atheists in a foxhole.
Right.
There are no feminists on a sinking ship. And all of a sudden, women and children first. No, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna die with the men. No, you're not. Like let's cut the bullshit. You'd be on that fucking.
No, stop it. Yeah, stop it, rude. I self-identify as peanut butter.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you just said, and I don't even think it's debatable. They're
no, man.
No, it's historically accurate, but they don't. That would be giving men credit for something that they don't want to give them.
Again, it's not all women. Okay, there are always exceptions to the rules. There are always outliers. There are women that think more logically, but those women who are exceptions to the rule, who are the outliers, who are the ones who think differently, if you hang out with them, they typically have more guy friends and they relate more with guys than they do with women.
Well, there's an interesting stat, and it's women prefer working for men than like toxic, cunty middle management women.
Oh, it's the worst.
So because the middle management woman is on a total angry, bitter power trip. Yeah, and the middle management man doesn't give a fuck. He's like, whatever. Like, so and this stat isn't resentful dudes. This is other women. So entry level women look at the women in middle management and they're like, we don't want to work for those because they're so bitter and resentful, and it's fake out. Like it makes perfect sense. I mean, I've known a few of those types, and they are very resentful and very bitter and they're looking to rationalize. They're looking to rationalize the failed attempt at reproduction by rationalizing with, well, I chose my career. Well, sure you did, but it's hard if they brainwash these women early enough. The feminists do. And they get them at 10 years old, 15 years old to believe this whole Sex in the City lie. And then the girl wakes up one day and she's 35 or 45. And she's like, the amount of cognitive dissonance and the amount of, it'd be like her getting red pilled, but it wouldn't be in her interest to get red pilled at the time because there's nothing she could do about it. So if the girl gets red pilled at 25, 30, yeah, she could still go out and do the family thing. But if she gets red pilled at 45, 40, it's like, all right, well, this is not my opinion. That's just biology. Like, it's like, all right, well, the feminists conned you. And like, that's why a lot of them, so they, instead of acknowledging the fact that the feminists con them out of reproduction and biology component, what do? They try to indoctrinate the next generation into being just as bitter and miserable as they are, and they try to shame them. They shame. If you ever watch a debate on the gender pay gap and why women leave the workforce to have babies, the angry, bitter feminists always they talk down to mothers. Yeah. Like, I can't believe you it's like, yeah, because I didn't want to work 70 hours a week. I'd rather be home and raise my babies. They want to make the women who are awesome mothers, who are great wives, who run an awesome family. They want to make those women feel embarrassed because they're not running they're not running JP Morgan. It's like, yeah, it's just a scam. It's a sales pitch. It's they're bitter, resentful people. And that's the one thing I never thought of until the Jordan Peterson phenomenon that he really lays out really well. One of the driving one of the driving forces of the left, of Bolsheviks, of communism, of authoritarians, one of the driving forces is envy and bitter resentment. It's just envy. They're envious of what they see and they cannot achieve. It doesn't matter if it's wealth. It doesn't matter if it's family. Those are the people who they can't be happy for you. If you've achieved something great, if you're an awesome mother raising 3 wonderful kids, if you're an awesome guy and you built a company, and if you're crushing life on any facet, they're envious. They're so jealous, bitter, envious. They're like, something. They don't like seeing happiness where they couldn't achieve it. And we're a normal, healthy psychological person would be like, oh, congratulations, man, that's awesome. Oh, the kids are great. Oh, one kid's doing this, other kid's doing that. Oh, your business is doing great. Well, like a normal person would be happy for them. The one of the driving personality characteristics of the left is envy. It's just jealousy and bitterness, and it's fucking hilarious. Oh.
It really is. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, case in point, look what happened to Roseanne.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
think about it.
Dude,
Really?
they crucified her, bro.
I personally think Valerie Jarrett looks like the woman from looks like the character from the Planet of the Apes.
Well, dude, I just
side by side. I think it's a dead ringer.
I didn't even know she was black. If I'm being
She's not black. She's Iranian.
I thought she was like Japanese, Middle Eastern or something.
She is. She's Iranian, man. She was born in Tehran.
Well, I guess she was born in. So after I read into this story, I guess she was born in Iran, but one of her parents was black. I don't know. But I think she's either half black or she is like light skinned black. I don't know. But I've known of Valerie Jarrett for 13, 14 years, and honestly, I didn't know she was black. I didn't. I thought she was something else. I thought she could have. I would have thought she was maybe half Hawaiian, half Indonesian. I don't fucking know. I didn't know what she was, but I don't. I mean, whatever.
You're a racist. You're a sexist. You're a homophobe.
Well, she is an evil bitch. She
is part of the four harpies of Obama. The four harpies: Suzanne Rice, Suzanne Powers, Hillary Clinton, Valerie Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett
were the curmudgeons that have carved up the mess that is the Middle East. They're the ones who are the main cause behind what happened in Libya, what happened in Syria. It's all them.
So he had God, I didn't even think about that. So he had this bitch in his cabinet for that long, for the whole time actually, and she was born in fucking Iran. That's not even a conflict of interest.
And she's a Muslim Brotherhood sympathizer, which is great because Hillary Clinton's aide, excuse me, at that time, what's her name? Uma Abedin. Uma is also Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, Obama was raised in Muslim Indonesia. I mean, again, I always joke around that I think he's a Muslim gay guy. Because I honestly, if I'm being honest, I do. He's got that, this guy just, the way he moves and walks, and he's got a lot of those feminine mannerisms where it's I think that guy might suck dick. And the way he just always is.
He most certainly does. He most certainly does.
Well, he's in a constant state of kissing his wife's ass. It's I've never seen anyone.
He is. His wife is Michael LaVaughn Robinson is well equipped from the pictures I've seen.
Dude, it's like I said.
Have you seen the pictures of Michael? I mean Michelle, or Michael, as Obama likes to call him or her or it.
Well, dude, just think about it all. Look at what all the girls, all the women you just mentioned, right? Jared, Clinton, right, whatever. The wife. If he's not like the gay guy who's friends with all these angry, bitter bitches, if he's not that guy, he's certainly a cuck then, at bare minimum.
Yeah.
He's either a beta cuck or he's fucking gay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's funny that, and again, the level of woman he brings in is not, the left would describe them as quote unquote strong women. I describe them as bitter, deceitful, they're angry bitches. They're the alpha dog angry bitches. And that's most men who are alpha themselves don't hang out with angry alpha bitches. Again, Obama, and it makes sense if dad left, whatever, and he was raised by a woman and a Muslim, so he was raised in a matriarchy. So the matriarchy is what feels comfortable for him. So you look at him and it's a matriarchal environment he's in. So that part of it kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah.
The Roseanne thing is the fact that it's very simple. it goes back to, dude, everything else. If you're in the club, all right, you could say whatever you want. If you agree, Roseanne was neutered and her head was chopped off because she's not an ideological liberal. If you are a liberal, you could literally, dude, Bill Maher, fucking has said has had some fucking slips with the N-word repeatedly.
All day, every day. Nothing happens.
Well, he's in the club, you know, he's one of their darlings, and that's fine. But they could say whatever the fuck they want because they're in the club. If you're not in the club and you oppose them or independent or leaning right, one phrase is all it takes. Dude, the Joe Reed, that fucking crazy bitch on MSNBC, she said she destroyed gay people like 15 years ago or 10 years ago on her blog. And since so she's a black woman who talked all this shit about gay people and blah, blah, blah. And since she's in the club, she's protected. Yeah. Could you imagine someone on the right, them pulling out shit from 10, 15 years ago? If it was any personality on the right you could think of.
They have to be fired. Their earned income has to be destroyed.
Pitchforks, dude. Pitchforks.
Yeah.
And this woman was protected. They all got on board with her, the Maddows, the NBC executives, and their narrative is someone hacked her account 12 years ago.
Oh, give me a flipping break. And that's good enough for them.
Dude, they're in the club. She's in the club.
They're in the club.
Yeah, they're in the club. Oberman could say whatever he wants. Maddow could say whatever he wants.
Oberman's a nut job. Like, what a freaking moron. What a freak he is.
Well, dude, the level is, I mean, that one redheaded, crazy fucking ginger holding up Trump's fucking decapitated head.
Oh, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, all the comedians talking about Trump secretly wants to fuck his daughter. Like, you've heard all those kind of jokes before from him, and it's all like cool. It's all cool if you're in the club. If you're in the club,
innovative. It's trendy, Gus. It's trendy.
Well, dude, if you saw some of the shit they were saying about Kanye, like when he came out, and he's
my God, he's a house Negro now.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if you're in the minute you leave the club, and again, it has nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with race, nothing to do with the minute you leave the ideological club, you're in serious fucking trouble. It's are you a Bolshevik liberal or not? Because if you are, you're protected.
And are you a flaming Bolshevik liberal?
Yeah.
Are you on fire? Are you? Does visions of tyranny and communism run through your head at night?
Does that give you an erection? Does stealing my property give you an erection? Yeah.
Oh, of course it does. I mean, you spent time in Chicago, man. Tell me how Rahm Emanuel has once again proven how liberals run things over there.
Well, dude, like I told you guys, man, before we went live, there are certain cities that have areas that you protect at all costs. They are the tourist drivers. They're where the money goes. They are where, when people visit the city, they must see this and must see that. And this was, and I haven't lived there in a long time, but since I was a child, the one jewel of the city, as it pertains to Chicago, and I guess, like I told you and CJ, I think the analogy would be like an LA Rodeo Drive or Park Avenue or Fifth Avenue for New York or whatever. The one jewel of Chicago was the Magnificent Mile, Michigan Avenue. So yeah, I took family there on my last trip there, you know, check out the shops, get some pictures, blah, blah, blah. And there were homeless everywhere. There were fucking street gangs hanging out outside like the Rolex dealerships and shit. Like
nothing gives me more comfort than when I can go into a Rolex dealer, put money down on a Daytona, and walk out and realize there are young gentlemen there throwing dice against the wall. They are ready, Gus. They are ready at a drop of a dice to give and to share with me their cultural enrichment.
Well, dude, like I've told you before, or at least my theory on it was, there are like two types of Democrats, like the like the I thought in my mind anyway, I had separated into like the Chicago and Bostonian Democrats, where they still vote Democrats, but they still have their testicles, like they still have balls.
Oh yeah, it's like you got a lot of that in New York.
It's
weird.
And then there's like the Cali blue-haired, total pussified Democrat that you find in Cali or Brooklyn, the hipster Brooklyn dudes and whatever. So it's that Chicago, for having a long line of Democratic mayors, and literally it might be like a 60 years straight or something since fucking the first Daley.
Yep.
Was always Democrats with balls. Like, all right, yeah, we vote Democrat.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're not fucking with Michigan Avenue, or we support the police department, or blah, blah. So they were Democrats, but they were Democrats with fucking balls. Now, Emmanuel, again, another Obama boy, Emmanuel is a total flaming, like, libtard, pussified, shape gangster, and he doesn't give a fuck. He straight up doesn't give a fuck. I mean, you're talking about, they let Michigan Avenue go to shit. You're talking about the same guy who's trying to come up with city ID cards that make it legal to vote even if you're not a citizen. And that's a bit of an older story, a couple months ago, but they're trying to, the city of Chicago is trying to, Emmanuel doesn't have the votes to get reelected right now, and the city of Chicago is trying to come up with city ID cards. And they're selling, well, every time they're confronted by a conservative, they're like, you're looking for a voting loophole for immigrants. Every time they're confronted, they're like, no, it's for the library card. It's just total bullshit. So, yeah, the city, it's not a shock why the murder rate's shit. And I know a few Chicago cops. They call it the Trayvon Martin effect or something like that. It's which basically means they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Like, so do you want cops going in and stopping crime, or when they get there, are you going to start bitching that they're treating people unfairly? Like, you can't have it both ways. Either criminals could shoot each other in the streets, and you could allow the chaos to, take care of itself, or the cops come in and try to protect you. But you can't have it both. The cops can't show up and go through their 3-hour sensitivity pamphlet as bullets are whizzing by them in the air. So a lot of the cops are like, listen, man, we'll get a call and we'll go take a coffee break before we get there. Like, because if we get there and there's 3 gangbangers shooting at us, like, we have to make sure everything's recorded. We have to make sure this, we have to make sure that. It's like, so it's become a paradox, right? So the Sharptons of the world and the rest of them want it both ways. And even you say, oh, we're over police. No, you're not over police. They're just the murder rates off the fuck. What do you want? Do you want protection from danger, or do you not? Because right now in Chicago, that's what's happening. The cops are saying, fuck this. Like, you're gonna bitch, you're gonna sue us, you're gonna march, you're gonna protest. Then just kill each other. Go ahead and fucking kill each other. If you want us to help, we will. But when we're trying to help, you can't say you're racially profiling a guy with his pants down to his knees who has a 9mm pulled out shooting in the air. Like, pick your poison. Do you want help or don't you? Because right now they want it both ways. They want cops. They want cops to show up with the wine and cheese platter while 17-year-old gangbangers are shooting at them. You can't have that's what's going on, dude. Yeah, that's and it's going on in LA, and it's going on in Chicago, and it's going on in Detroit. You can't have it both ways. Do you want help or don't you? And it's like, that's that. And the majority of these police forces, by the way, are made up of blacks and Hispanics. Like, you look at like the Baltimore.
Oh yeah, totally.
You look at Baltimore PD and Detroit PD and Chicago PD. It's a lot of black dudes and Hispanic dudes. But even they're Nazis. It's like, no, they're not Nazis. They're just, you're putting them in a fucking hostile environment with criminals, and you're wanting them to like show up with stuffed animals and donuts for all these. Like, they're not. dude, it's dangerous. It's again, I don't know how you fix it with these areas, these communities, if they can't come out and be like, yeah, we have to identify the problem, and it's cops. The cops aren't the murder rate is very killing, and it's not the Chicago police. It's gang bangers and drug dealers and blah blah blah. That's what's going on. So you could blame the boogeyman, you could blame the cops, you could blame the Nazis, but again, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I mean, so what do they want to do about it? They probably want to have more single mothers. That's helping, or more that. It's like it's not complicated to figure out what's going on. They don't want to stop. Dude, it's again. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's like it's painful. It's painful to watch, and then it's painful to hear their proposed solutions. It doesn't matter if it's police. It doesn't matter if it's we need stricter gun laws. It doesn't matter. It's all such bullshit. They had some of the strictest gun laws in the country. The police, the shooting rate stats speak for themselves, and it's my hometown, and it sucks that it's happening, but we've talked, dude, maybe it's part of like the life cycle, like you said with New York, like the fucking liberals and hippies and pimps took over in the 60s and 70s. And finally, in New York, finally broke and picked Giuliani, and he's like, clean this shit. They're like, clean this shit up. And maybe that's what it'll take in Chicago too. Like maybe it can't be done at the federal level, at the state level. Finally, Chicago will break and say, okay, enough with this liberal bullshit. It's time to get some order out of chaos here. So we'll see, man. I'm telling you, I never thought I'd see it. We weren't taught. We weren't in the shitty neighborhood. We weren't in the fucking, the fucking ghetto. We weren't in the fucking projects. We were on Michigan fucking Avenue, and you wouldn't have recognized it from what it looked like 5 years ago. Wow. Yeah.
Unreal. Simply unreal.
New York protects there's areas of Manhattan where there's no way they're letting riffraff hang out, right? Like they'll shut it down immediately.
Well, it's changed a lot, man. It's changed a lot. And Mayor de Blasio, he is a flaming, on fire SJW Barack Obama wannabe. You got homeless bums taking baths in the fountains over at like Columbus Circle. I mean, you got homeless guys taking dumps outside of a Victoria's Secret store on Fifth Avenue.
Dude, where were all these people 5-10 years ago? That's the thing. That's what no one can answer me.
Welfare system. They come, dude. They're like, they got the radar. They got that welfare radar built to do it. Then boop, boop.
Well,
they start migrating in.
It doesn't matter if we're talking about New York, California, San Francisco, San Diego, LA. It's all even Anaheim. It's all exploded. Chicago. The explosion I've seen the last 5 years, 10 years in homeless people is incredible. I don't remember this 10 years ago. I mean, you see homeless people, but not the tent cities and the abundance of it. And they're everywhere. And I don't know. I don't know if they shut down insane asylums. I don't know, because a lot of the people are just straight up nuts. Like they're talking to themselves. Like you'll wake up at 8 a.m. and they're like talking, like walking into oncoming traffic on a main street, like talking to themselves in a robe. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know I think it's some combination of insane and total junkies. Whatever, opioids, heroin, crack, who the fuck knows? But it's some combination of those two. Because these people, dude, one of them, I don't know if I told you the story. One of them jumped on the hood of my car like 6 months ago or something. It was like, yeah, I was making a left out of my parking garage to go to fucking get groceries, dude, at like fucking 3 p.m. And I was literally going, dude, I was going like 1 mile an hour because it's kind of a blind spot. Yeah. So I was coming up to make a left on a one-way street, and I was barely moving. And this fucking dude in like a pink robe jumps on my car, on the hood of my car. And he goes, "Oh, my neck." And I go, "Dude, get off my fucking car. What the fuck are you doing?" Goes, "You hit me." I'm like, "Hit you? I wasn't moving. Get off my car." So he was trying to play like the from the movie Curly Sue, like the fake neck injury or something.
Dude, that's crazy,
dude. And he was like he was wearing like a bandana and a robe. It was like 3 PM. And I was, I'm like, dude, it might be time to get out of here. Like it might be time. Like I'm reaching my breaking point, and the suburbs have been known for, that's where you go to raise a family. So I don't know if it's a single guy if I could pull out the suburbs, but it's tempting to get the fuck out. Like
it is, man. And just get the hell out of there, dude. It's you have a lot more peace. And if you ever want to have that, that party, just drive into it or take a train down, and you're done.
Well, man, between like the triggered snowflakes that you see at bars and the crime and the homeless, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, it's like you can't even get a fucking cup of coffee anymore. So it's it's like, what the fuck are you paying for? Like, exactly. Are you paying for the ability to walk to your dry cleaners and the ballpark? I mean, it's fucking, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy that they put them there. And maybe it's the greatest problem might be the homeowners, the people who own property in the city, like should rise up and be like, what the fuck is going to happen to these values? How do we have, well, I was going to say, how do we have kids down there, but a lot of them don't have kids. I can't believe they're letting it happen. It's fucking crazy to me.
It is, my man. It is. Dude, well, the time flies.
It does, bro. It does. It really does. Another hour of
another one for the history books.
Another hour of getting pissed at the.
I love it. I love it, dude. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening in. I am Ahmed Al Kaboom. Come back again where we have the gilded infidel, the one and only supreme infidel, the one with the cloven tongue, the cultural commentator of the 21st century, the one and only Gustavo, aka Gustavo Demos, and his crazy infidel friend Will Lear over at Perpetual Assets. If you're afraid of your 401 camel becoming a 101 camel and you want to invest in goats, chickens, gold, cryptos, whatever it is, call Gustavo over at perpetualassets.com and tell him Mahmoud Al Kaboom sent you. You will get 5 donkey bombs and a fertilizer bomb sent directly to your house. With that being said, take it away, Latino Heat.
Great show, guys.
Likewise. Dude, before I forget, New York is fucking booked. Good to go there. Looking at hotels next. Good. Let me know what of the trip, what day or two you're free to head your direction.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'll clear my schedule for you. No doubt about it. I'll clear my schedule for you. And take you out to lunch, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah. I'll forward the dates along and all that, and just let me know. I'm coming out for a long stretch, so I could work around. Dude, you're the one with kids and wife and shit.
Gustavo, I'll take care of it for you, my friend. I'll take you to dinner at my favorite restaurant called the Blue Point.
Yeah, and hopefully CJ can make it out as well.
That'll be fun. If CJ can make it, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll tear up the city.
Yes.
Screw the city. I'll stay out of the city. I hate the city.
We'll
definitely have some fun. Definitely.
Done, amigos. Done.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great day.
All right, have a good one later on.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Cuco. Bye-bye.